What's going on, everybody? D-Style here. I want to thank everybody that's joining me live and to everyone that'll be joining me on archive. You know what? This was a last second decision, man, but I decided to just go ahead and get my weekly, even though we're not quite next week yet, but gonna get that boxing stories, man. Gonna have a long weekend. I just, let's just pump the shit out now. Let's get it out there. So, look, this is a personal favorite story of mine. All right. Feel free to leave comments and everything. But boxing is about let me do my sound check as well. But boxing is about sharing memories with loved ones. It really is. Or with friends. And the great thing about YouTube and that what YouTube has done, and YouTube especially, I don't want to say social media because it kind of doesn't give value to what YouTube itself did for boxing, and not just for myself, but for many of you out there. YouTube gave us as boxing fans this ability to reach out to people from all over the world. That it's amazing how this sport is loved by people in the States and in Latin America and in Europe and Eastern Europe and Asia. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't, and it put to rest that the whole boxing is dying notion. Does boxing have problems? Absolutely. Does boxing have a lot it could improve on? Absolutely. But let me tell you something. It expanded everything. It's so, and that's a beautiful thing. And to be able to share memories is another beautiful thing. It really is. Today we're going to be talking about El Paso versus Juarez at the Don Haskins Center. All right. This fight, right, is probably the best fight experience I've ever had live, like at somewhere. Like, it's probably the best. It's not the biggest names I've seen. It's not the biggest whatever, but the experience that like whoa, that feeling that you get right here in el corazón. It's one of the best experiences I've ever had, right? And this was a fight. I was already on YouTube. I had been on YouTube for maybe 2-3 years when this fight happened. But this fight was Antonio Escalante, all right? This was in 2000. Let me look at the year really quick. I'm pretty sure it's 2010. It was Antonio Escalante of El Paso, Texas, all right? So, and against Roman, all right? And I'm just trying to pull up here to get the dude's first name. Miguel Roman. I couldn't remember his first name, but Miguel Roman. All right? What's going on, Brian David? I saw Escalante versus Roman, man. This was a featherweight fight, 126 pounds. Roman was Escalante, I'm sorry, from El Paso, was on about an 8 to 9 winning streak. And I felt like, he was at the cusp, like this dude is at the cusp of getting that title shot. He was close. Didn't pan out, but this night was special. I wasn't even going to go to the fight. This was Friday Night Fights, ESPN, when they still did that back in the day. Shed Smoke, what's going on? David Castillo, what's going on? I wasn't even going to go to this fight. I say, this fight for what? All right. It was Friday Night Fights. It didn't dawn on me until the day of. Like, I remember on that, not the day of, the day before, I'm sorry. I got the newspaper, and they had no, it was that morning. I take that back. It was on Sunday. It had to be Saturday morning because it was the pictures of the weigh-ins. All right. And Escalante, man, looked in the best shape of his career. He was there like, yo, look at me. Like, he was fucking ready. Escalante was like, looked like he was there, the scales. And I remember reading the story. It was at the El Paso Times. I opened up the thing, and I'm like, what the hell? This is a rematch? I was looking for the fight. We're talking about rematch. They never fought. Not officially. Not officially. Right? They hadn't officially fought. They fought as kids. And Roman always bragged about how he beat up Escalante when he was a kid. I don't know how old they were, but it was telling the press, the local press, how he beat up Escalante. I think they mentioned on Friday Night Fights. I'm not sure because I didn't see it on Friday Night Fights. But it intrigued me. Like, it got my attention, man. It really did. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to go watch this fight. All right. But I don't know who to go watch this fight with. You know, like, I was just like, who am I going to just... And this was in 2010. My grandfather passed away in 2009. Okay? July of 2009. And when my grandfather passed away, I mean, he would have been the one I would have gone to see the fight with. But he passed away. But I had just started to talk to my dad again. All right? I had just started talking to my dad, and it was a little rocky. It wasn't the best father-son relationship out there. But I decided, fuck it. Let me buy tickets to the fight, and I'll invite my dad to see the fight. All right. And it was the best decision I made that day. One of the best decisions I ever made. I invited my dad to go see this fight. And I know I see him in the chat, but I would have invited David Castillo, but he was obsessed with MMA at the time. So he couldn't go see boxing. Okay. My brother is into MMA, and I had some cousins I could have gone with, but to me, going with my dad was a bigger deal. And this was big because when I was a kid, and you'll hear that in the very first, if you go back, I have it on my playlist on my channel, the first Father's Day, I talk about how I got into boxing and the fight that I watched to get into boxing, right? And my dad introduced me into boxing. Like he sat me down, let's watch this Malder Chavez fight. And my dad had not been watching boxing for a while. And so this was going to be the first fight he's seen. So I kind of reintroduced him into boxing, right? And I said, let's go watch this Escalante fight, man. I remember I picked him up. I had just gotten my Firebird at the time. I was so proud, man. I love that car. And I picked up my dad, man. We drove downtown, past downtown, right? Passing the UTIP campus, the Don Haskins Center right there, right off of I-10. Okay, got on Mesa, all right? And we got off and we were going to watch this fight, man, right? And I remember telling him on my way there, everything I read on the newspaper about the fight. What's going on, Scrapbook? I'll tell him, Roman's bragging about how he beat up Escalante as kids. He beat the shit out of them when they were kids. And now this is a rematch. I never seen a fight hyped up like that. Now, both kids were born in Juarez, Mexico, right across the border over there. Right? I can get in my vehicle, all right, and I could drive. I'll be in the border in about 2 minutes flat. Right? So, maybe 4 minutes. But anyway. But Escalante was an adopted son of El Paso, Texas. Okay. And doing something positive, and he was showing up at the high schools over here, giving speeches to the kids to stay out of trouble, and being a good ambassador for the city, right? And he was representing El Paso here, okay? Roman, well, he was representing Juarez, right? I showed up to the Don Haskins Center, and I thought it wasn't going to be packed because I bought tickets the day of the fight. Okay. But I showed up, it was packed. But apparently I'm not the only one that waited last minute to buy it. All right. The Don Haskins Center was packed, bro. Right? And I remember two things about this. The first thing I remember, we're going to talk about the other one, the big one, but it was Ashley Theophane against Danny Garcia. All right? Ashley, the first time I saw Danny Garcia fight live, Ashley Theophane from the UK, over there in England. When we walked in, it was already in the middle of the first round, okay? I hadn't been to a live boxing event in a while at that point. And man, is it different when you're there. It's you get your appreciation for boxing goes from here to here. All right, like it goes higher, right? When you watch it live. That's the first time I noticed like this Garcia guy can pop, right? Now, I was doing Rope-A-Dope Radio at the time. Shout out to Joe Habib. Shout out to Ashley Knuckles, Carlito, and Calix. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Rope-A-Dope Radio. We got to do a reunion show one of these days. We got to do it. I remember, the interview. Like Danny Garcia was a prospect, bro. It was a prospect. We're interviewing this kid. I remember how confident he sounded, and I was going to see him live. And anyway, I remember he would throw these hooks. Garcia, he hooks like, whoa, right? And you would hear it. Pa! Like the shit would echo on the fucking, and the way that Don Haskins is built, most basketball, college basketball, everything is like closed in, bro. Right? There's not a lot of openings. There's no like upper layer, or it's all closed in, compact, and there's one row of I shouldn't say rows, but there's like 20 rows all around. You know what I mean? And then another 10 above that, and that's it. Right? So everything that happens there, every sound, everything, you could hear it, and it's loud. It's like perfect for boxing. And the arena was about 3/4 full at that point. Right? Now, one thing I remember was the crowd. The crowd was dogging these dudes, bro. Like, because in fairness, it wasn't the most action-packed fight. And I could understand why Theophane wasn't just going in there because Garcia could punch. And I could understand that Garcia was trying to set him up with a hook. So I just remember, man, and when you're there live, it's another animal. And somehow these guys kept their composure because I remember hearing, stop dancing like ballerinas. ¿Van a pelear o qué? ¿Van a pelear? Nada más andan bailando. Andan bailando. They're just dancing in the ring. The crowd was pretty vicious to these guys. And I'm like, damn, like this is crazy. This is not like watching it on TV. So the crowd was really yelling shit at these guys, telling them to really like go at it, right? And then in the second half of the fight, they started to pick it up. Actually, Theophane started to take more risk, just everything, man. And so the fight got a little more exciting, but I think the crowd kind of pushed them to that. But that was just something I wanted to kind of say on the side. People were coming in. That fight ended. Garcia won it by controversial decision. Some people feel Theophane won, but I felt Garcia won, but whatever. I remember being there with my dad. Okay. And people are showing up, dude. People are showing up to the Don Haskins Center. Like it's starting to get packed. It's starting to get packed. And there's starting to be a Roman chant. Like, I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Like, they were chanting for Roman. Roman, Roman, Roman. Like they were chanting for Roman. And it was all the people from Juarez that came over, right? They all came over from Juarez. Okay. They come over Greeting from Mississippi, Kenneth Johnson. What's going on? Christian NWO, my dad and brother watched WWF. So growing up, I watched WWF. I wasn't until sophomore, junior year of high school that I really started to follow boxing. I did WWF and never looked back. There you go. Chin Smoke. Being there live is bad as you write this. Absolutely. Anyway, we're there. This Roman chant started to go up, right? And me, like, I'm trying to start an Escalante chant. It's not working out. Because the side I'm on, for whatever reason, I'm hearing Roman chants behind me. I'm hearing Roman chants to my left, to my right. Okay, well, this is my left or right. Anyway, and in front of me, I'm hearing Escalante. I'm Roman chants. Like Juarez took over the shit. Like, they just showed up. And they showed up and just bought the tickets outside the door or some shit. Okay, they started to come in. They didn't give a shit about the Garcia-Theophane fight or any of the other fights. They show up, Roman, right? Granted, these two guys, I believe, were like just right out of the top 10 at the time, right? So, you know, it was a big fight, man. It was a big fight in terms of who's going to get some future shots. The lights start going dim, man. The walkouts happen. You know, both guys are walking out. And you don't really hear the Escalante fans till Escalante walks out. Then there's a roar. Right? But they're on the other side. I'm in enemy territory. Right? I'm in enemy territory. My dad, too. Right? My dad's just kind of like just there. And he's like, don't talk shit to the Roman guys, okay? Because we're outnumbered. I'm like, I don't give a shit. Right? Estos boxeo. This is boxing. Okay? Like, I can talk shit if I want. But anyway, first of all, I got to say, some of you guys, man, you got to grow an appreciation for boxing, right? You have to, like, Dennis Ward's in the chat. What's going on? You have to go watch some local fights. Like, go watch some local regional fights, like to grow another appreciation for world-class boxing, right? But anyway, this wasn't about world titles. This wasn't about any title. This was about, like, this was personal with these guys, right? Roman kept talking about I beat him up as a kid, right? I beat his ass when he was a kid. And Escalante was like, well, now we're men. And we're going to see in the fucking ring, right? And so they go to the ring. I couldn't hear the announcer, right? This was Friday Night Fights, by the way, ESPN. I was looking for Teddy Atlas and shit. I was like, well, where's Teddy at? All right. Man, the fight starts. And like, everybody sits down before the bell's gonna sound. I don't know why the fuck everybody sat down, but everybody sits down. Ding ding, and then everybody stands up. It was the most ridiculous shit I ever seen. Like, well, why the fuck we even sit down, right? Because if the person in front of you stands up, you got to stand up. So that's why everybody started standing up again. But ding ding, the bell rings, man. It was fucking loud, right? I've been to concerts before, right? I've seen Metallica live. I've seen Pearl Jam live. I've seen Korn live. I've seen Disturbed live. I could keep going. I've been there, you know, all types of concerts. But that is, honest to God, and I don't know if it sounded like that on television, but that was the loudest crowd I've ever been part of. It was loud, right? I couldn't say anything to my dad. That's how loud it was. He wouldn't hear me, right? We were standing up throughout the entire fight. We never sat down. I can hear between rounds, because it would quiet down a little bit, people in the back talking shit, right? They were talking shit. Escalante's going to get his ass. He's getting his ass whooped in Spanish. Pinche Escalante vale madre. And I remember I would like yell stuff. Pinche Roman vale pero pura pinche verga. Okay, like I would yell it out loud, like, fuck Roman. He's a piece of shit. Okay? He's worth shit. But anyway, and they were hearing me. I remember my dad being like, I don't know if you noticed, but there's a bunch of Roman fans around. Okay, their way of responding, was to start chanting, right? So Roman, Roman, with a fucking Spanish accent and shit. Okay, and I'm like, fuck you. Okay, now I wasn't doing this yet, but around the third round, it was still competitive, man. And let me tell you, like this is Escalante and this is Roman, right? Like Escalante will go on offense, and you could hear one side of the arena roaring. Okay, like you know when you hear like whoa, like you hear a crowd like it's a big roaring sound. It sounds like thunder on one side of the arena. Okay, and then Roman comes at Escalante, and you hear the other side of the arena roar, right? Right? It's like it's a big roaring sound, right? I remember witnessing that. Like I remember like just thinking to myself, like this is amazing, right? Like I can't, like this is crazy. This is not even a world title fight, but it's just it's a local fight. You know what I mean? But the fighters are ranked enough. You know, there's two guys in the top 25, and they're from border cities, and they're right, and they have a personal story, and the people showed up, man, and it was an unbelievable experience. Now it started to get. I remember the Roman chants started to die down after like round 5 or 6. All right, it started to die down because Escalante was putting a beating on his ass. Okay, Escalante was putting a beating on Roman. Okay, he was turning him to Roman noodle, right? He was putting a beat down on Roman, man. And I remember then I started hearing the Escalante chants. Escalante. All of a sudden, on my side, people started sitting down. They were sitting down. I would stand up, be Escalante, Escalante. My dad would be like, sit down, sit down, sit down. Like, anyway, I forgot what round it was. It was like between 8 and 9. On the stands, dudes were like fighting. Like I guess they were talking a lot of shit. Like fuck Juarez, fuck El Paso, and Bender. They were going at it, bro. They were fighting in the stands between rounds. Okay, at least 3 or 4 fights broke out. Right, at least, right. And people were cheering for that. I mean, I never seen so many animals. You don't want to get a bunch of boxing fans who love violence, okay, in a big room like that. Because look at what happens. This shit happens. People were getting escorted out by security, okay, still kicking each other while they're getting dragged out. All right, this shit's insane, right? Escalante, he won pretty wide on that fight. Roman was coming at the end, but Escalante was he was clearly beating him up. He was beating this dude up, man. And at that time, man, I kind of knew Escalante had a ceiling. You just know sometimes. But you kind of hope he could maybe get a world title. Ironically, Roman had a little more of a career afterwards, actually. Okay. You know, Escalante was moving up. He finally got like a shot at a big name fighter against Ponce de Leon. He got knocked out, man. He got knocked out in the 3rd round. Rocky Juarez destroyed Escalante. Berchelt destroyed Escalante in the 3rd round. Roman, every time, man, he stepped up against Mura. He would work his way back up. He got his title shot against Mura. Lost that fight in the 12th round. He lost to Berchelt in the 9th round. DeMarco knocked him out in the 5th. You know, Fortuna, he went the distance with him in 10 rounds, and he lost to Barrios in a 12-round decision when he got his title shot. So, ironically, he did reach higher in terms of rankings, right, and getting title shots. He got higher than Escalante. I think Escalante took a lot of beatings, man. He went down under. Dude got arrested, right? The dude got arrested, you know, Not that long ago, man. I forgot what it was for, but dude got arrested. Well, what's with boxers like over the hill boxers getting arrested and shit? I don't know what the fuck's going on, but dude got arrested, man. Not looking good, man. I think he's still active, but he's not doing anything of significance, really. But this was the height of Escalante's career. This was his biggest win of his career. This was his biggest moment. Um, there was just something special that night. The way it all came together, man. That crowd was amazing. You know, this fight's not going to go down in history as one of the greatest fights of all time or anything like that. But as, in terms of me and my personal life, man, this was something special to me. And it was special because I went to see it with my dad. It's the only fight I ever saw live with my dad. I would never went to see any other fights. I saw other fights with him on television, but this is the only fight I went out and actually saw in person with my dad. So in that, it was special. You know, he started asking about the contenders or the champions now, and he got him back into boxing. And after this, I would go to his house. We would watch some fights at his house and all that. So it sparked that interest again. You know, this fight right here. So this for that reason alone, it's special to me. You know, it's special to me for that reason alone. This was a special time for me, man. It really was. I love this fight. Yeah, I love the experience of this fight. Any guy could have won. I love the experience. I love talking shit to the Juarez fans, the Roman fans, even though a fight never broke out, but not where I was, but some fights broke out. Okay. It was just an unbelievable experience. This is the best way I can put it, man. Loudest crowd I've ever, like, dude, I've been dude, to, and now look, dude, I was in Indio, California, watching the Big Four, Metallica being one of them, and it was loud, obviously, because there's like 100,000 people there, right? So, but you can still talk to the person next to you, like, you know what I mean? It's in a field, and the sound goes up, you know. There, man, the sound is all compact, man, and it was something special. It really was. It was special. Special for me. All right. I don't know what fights you guys seen live, man, but let me know. Shit. David says, bro, I understand. The fight was lit. Absolutely. It was lit. All right. Drive home was great, man. It was beginning to start bonding with my dad. And after that, we'll get together, watch some boxing fights. And it all started here on this night. You know, it all started on this night. Boxing did that. You know, boxing did that. So, what can I say? Other fights I've been to, man, I saw was it Matawa versus, man, what was the dude's name? Let me find the name really quick. Let me find the name. The name is escaping me. What the hell? You guys remember Matawa, right? Remember Matawa? Roger Matawa? This was not at the Donna Haskins, but it was at the El Paso County Coliseum. A little smaller. But it was, man, Johnny Gonzalez. There it is. I saw Johnny Gonzalez and Matawa fight there, man. This was for the WBC featherweight title. All right. And Johnny beat the shit out of Matawa in that fight. You know. No. He might have fought him. I don't know if he ever fought Pacquiao. I don't know, to be honest with you. But But Taco's the dude that almost beat Lopez. Like, he was so close to beating Juan Manuel Lopez, right? So close. And then he lost pretty handily to Gamboa, and then he lost to Johnny Gonzalez here, right? That's a fight I remember watching here in El Paso, you know. Interesting fight. Interesting fight. Another short story I want to tell you guys before I go, right? I remember, man, when Miguel Cotto was going to fight Canelo, right? I was dating this girl at the time, and she's like, I want to go to Phoenix, right? I want to go to Phoenix to visit my, my family, her sister, brother, mom, right? When I first said yes, I didn't even think about it. Sure, okay, fine. And then it dawned on me, probably while I was driving over there. It's about a 7-hour drive from El Paso to Phoenix. And it dawned on me, like, the Canelo fights this weekend with Cotto, right? And I was looking forward to that fight. And so we're driving, and I remember asking her, like, you think we'll be able to watch the fight? You know, because she knew I liked boxing. Okay. And she knew it. And she was like, yeah, sure. Yeah, there's a lot of Mexicans in Phoenix. So you could totally watch the fight, right? Like, no problem. Like, yeah. And then I stopped and I was like, well, yeah, right? Like, they always have fights in Tucson, and, it is, But anyway, so we're going. I get there, and I'm, first things first, right? We get there, see the family. I meet her mom, yada, yada, yada. Next day. The next morning, it's Saturday morning. I'm like, I don't know Phoenix like that. Okay? I don't know Phoenix like that. So I'm like, I guess Google on my phone. I get my phone. I'm like, well, I got to Google, like, what's where they have the, Canelo versus Cotto fight. First thing I do, I text my friend Scott Hale, because he's from Scottsdale, right? The owner of hailstormsports.com. You guys remember when I did hailstorms and stuff, but I text him. I'm like, well, where's this fight at? Like, do you know? Like, he's like, I don't know. Not a lot of bars show boxing over here. I was like, wait, what? What do you mean a lot of bars don't show boxing over here? Oh, yeah, they show all the UFC events, but they don't really show boxing that much. But I'm sure someone has it somewhere. He called him to confirm. And he gave me some places that, look up this place. I forgot the names already. Okay. Called him. Like, I swear to God, I call these places Larry's Pub. Like, okay, they're going to have a boxing fight. Okay, so I call. I made up that name. I don't remember the name of the bars. I call. Yeah, I say, are you guys going to have the Canelo versus Cotto fight tonight? That's what I said. You know what they heard? They heard, all right, that's probably what they heard. The what? The Cotto Canelo fight. The what? The Cotto Canelo fight. What is that? What is that? It's a middleweight title fight. What do you mean, what is it? I don't know what that is. Like, is that like a UFC fight? They asked me if it's a UFC fight. We don't have a UFC event tonight. Nah, this is a boxing fight. Like, oh no, sorry, man. We don't show boxing here. Okay. Okay. Call the next place. All right. Now I specify. Do you guys have the boxing fight with Canelo Alvarez versus Miguel Cotto? You guys have that fight? I'm sorry, sir. What is that, sir? The Canelo versus Miguel Cotto middleweight championship of the world. The fight. No, sir, we don't have, but we do have a $2 you call it though. We have a $2 you call it. You want to show up? I'm just thinking to myself, okay, babe, like your mom has DirecTV. We're gonna order this damn fight. If you know that, right? Like, oh no, but she's behind on the bill, hasn't paid it, so it's interrupted right now. She owes $300. It's okay. No need to. It's barely 10 in the morning. All right, called another spot. Fuck it. I don't know. So somebody put a name of a bar, please, on the chat. So somebody put a name of a bar. What's a good name for a bar? Anybody, anyone, put a name of a bar, right? So I don't remember the names of these bars, but somebody put a name. Give me a name, a tavern or some shit. Give me a name, right? Because right now I'm thinking I'm not gonna get to see this fucking fight. Mike's Bar and Hot Wings. Mike's Bar and Hot Wings here. How can I help you? Yeah, you guys going to be showing the Canelo versus Miguel Cotto boxing fight for the middleweight championship of the world. Are you guys going to be showing that fight? I don't know. Hold on, bro. Hold on, bro. Hey, this guy's talking about a fight. Is there a UFC fight tonight? No, bro. There's no UFC fight tonight. I clearly say it, boxing fight. You know what I mean? I know what I say, right? It's surreal. I said, no, it's a boxing fight. You guys gonna put it on? No, bro, we don't really put any boxing anymore, bro. For years now, since Mike Tyson. What the fuck? Like maybe because I was calling spots in Scottsdale. Okay, so I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Oh, well, you're calling the spots in the avenues. You got to call the spots in the streets because they have streets called the same, but one's avenue, one's street. But you don't want to go watch the fights in that side of town because it's dangerous. I found it, right? As soon as they said, "Oh, that's a dangerous part of the," I know where we're going tonight because I know they got a boxing there, right? Right? Like I know, the dangerous side of town. No, they watch boxing, right? Kind of pussies in Scottsdale, all right? Of course, they're not gonna have the fucking fight. And here from Scottsdale, too bad, right? DStyleBoxing was not appreciated on his visit there, being told it's one thing to tell me you're not showing the fight. It's another thing to not even know who the fuck these dudes are and confuse it with UFC. Okay. Probably South Phoenix, all right. So finally, her brother's like, "Oh, I work with a bunch of Mexicans in the kitchen," right? Her brother's like a chef. Why don't you say something? They know the spots, right? Found a spot like this, right? But it was in the dangerous side of town. You know? It wasn't that dangerous. But anyway, so we go, although I saw some crackheads and whatever, right? We go, man, show up, bunch of Mexicans. They're getting ready to watch Canelo fight, right? They charged fucking $20 at the door. $20! Like, what the fuck is what? Funny part was like I was like, I got it. Like I told her sister, brother, and their dates, I got this. Okay. $20 a pop, bro. Okay. $20 a like what the fuck you think you're selling? The Zone for a month? What the fuck? What are you selling me right now for $20 a pop? It's $120, bro. To watch fucking Canelo fight? Like they knew where they were at. Like you can't do that in El Paso. They'll just laugh at you and go next door. Like for $20, what the fuck? I'm gonna go over here. They got it for $5. All right, like what? If you're ever in El Paso, Texas, you'll find a boxing fight. Okay, I'm just telling you that right now. $20 a pop. A pop. Okay. I remember I said out loud, $20. The fuck you selling me? Am I gonna get a glove signed by Canelo or some shit? What the fuck is this? $20. But you know, I already, you know how it is. When you already say you're gonna pay for it, hey, you gotta pay for it. I can't you know how ridiculous that would have looked. They'd be no, never mind. They didn't even want to go to that side of town, the dangerous side of town. I'm like, fuck. You know, we're already here. Right? This is the only bar we could find. It's the one that the Mexican cooks knew about. Right? I don't know, man. They're ripping you guys off to watch boxing over there, man. That shit's crazy. But goddamn, like what did you get papers with those $20? What the fuck you get with those $20? What the fuck you guys giving me for those $20? Anyway, I forked out that money. All cash too, by the way. Tax free, motherfuckers. I see what you're doing. I see exactly what you're doing. All right. So I get in. I can't find a place to sit. You're telling me $20 doesn't come with like a seat? There's nowhere to sit down. A bunch of brown people all over the place. All right. I'm like, God damn. So we have to stand up and watch the fight outside. Her brother's like, who's got the first round? Well, you really think DStyle's going to get the first fucking round right now? You think I'm going to get the first fucking round? Are you really asking that question? Are you really asking me right now? Yeah, you guys got to find a spot where like Mexicans work and shit. And when Canelo's going to fight, damn, $20 a pop. You want to watch Canelo fight, you got to give me $20. You want to watch him fight? $20. And now all you got to do is pay the $20 for the Zone. You'll break even with the first buyer. You'll break even with the first buyer, bro. I know this is not why I broke up with her, in case anybody's wondering. Okay, no. You told me there's going to be a fight. $20, dude. A pop. Who's going to get the first round? He asked me who's going to get the first round after I paid $160 to enter. Okay. Not to mention using my car and my gas on top of that. Now, that's it. So we're there. All right. Everything's cool. I'm out of town. It is what it is. I'm going to watch Cotto versus Canelo. No problem. Missed the entire undercard just trying to get there. You know, we got a decent spot. The TV's about 10 feet away, but it's a 30-inch TV. The shit's insane. I paid $20 for this shit. Can't even put a big screen TV outside or some shit. Charging $20 a pop. Right? So I get in there. And the shit's abused, bro. It's like, you know when there's those hurricanes and there's like a scarcity of water, and all of a sudden those 24 packs of water go from $4 to $50. That's what they were doing, bro. There's a scarcity of boxing. Okay. Yeah, dude, a 30-inch TV. Shit's insane. All right. Yeah, UFC country. Fucking Scottsdale. Fucking Scott Hills for fucking UFC country, bro. Okay? Anyway. So we're there watching, man. I'm going to have a Mexican beer. Tecates are cheap, dude. Okay? I go to Juarez with $5. I can get drunk off of fucking drinking Tecates. Okay? $5. I'll be the king of Tecate over there. Right? Give me $10. I own Tecate. Right? I fucking go, but in Arizona and Phoenix, Tecates were $7.99. $7.99? What the fuck you think you're selling me? What the fuck is $7.99 for a 12-ounce beer? Are you out of your mind, dude? Now, what got me was all these Mexicans are buying a fucking $7.99 Tecate, getting buckets and shit. And yes, I said $7.99 like out loud, because I thought I heard her wrong. I'm sorry, babe. What'd you say to the waitress? Right? What was that? I heard $6.99. What was that? $7.99. What? That's crazy. All the Mexican beer, like they tripled it in price or quadrupled it. You want to drink Mexican beer and watch Mexicans fight? You got to pay for it because you're in Phoenix, Arizona. Let me tell you, man, all this complaint about legal immigration, all this other shit, bro, like these businesses get that money back, bro. Okay? They get this money back, bro. $7.99 for a Tecate. And then fucking my ex drank fucking margaritas. She's like, I want a margarita, please. Okay, I was like, hold on, wait, whoa. Before you go, ma'am, come here. What type of tequila are you putting on this margarita? Oh, we put the best Mexican tequila in there because we serve the best margarita. Which tequila? Oh, we put Don Julio in. How much is this margarita? Oh, you know, the margarita, it's $19.99. $19.99. Felix Nunez in the house. What's going on? Yeah, $7.99 at professional basketball games, AJ10, but it's on the cups, right? And it's not at a bar. Couldn't believe it. I was like, how much is it with Wells tequila? Because we're gonna buy that. Said, oh, we with Wells tequila, it's $17.99, $2 less. Oh, but we make the best margaritas. How much is a Budweiser? $2. I have a Bud, please. Right. Bud, it is. Babe, you're going to drink Bud too, okay? All right. Done with that conversation. All right. Done. The Budweiser was $2 fucking. Right? I don't know. These guys are hustling out there, man. Like, holy shit, are they hustling? It's crazy. But I got to watch the fight. I fought Canelo won. It was a close fight. Good crowd. Then I got the fuck out of there. All right. Then I got the fuck out. I was like, fuck this shit. Right? Fuck this shit. Yeah, AJ10, I was better off going to the liquor store and all that. Of course. Couldn't believe it. Anyways, guys, I got to roll, man. Got this 4 times more than the Bud. Yeah, like I couldn't believe it. This was a hustle of all hustles, bro. Right? These dudes were making some money, dude. Like that. I don't know how much profit they made that night, but they made profit. If you ask me, all these businesses, bro, I don't know why they don't have the boxing fights. Like, they could make a lot of money. But, you know, maybe they're racist or some shit. Don't want brown people around. I have no idea, but nonetheless. Yeah, Christian NWI, I agree. Anyways, guys, AJ got any leverage with the Ruiz negotiations, bro? Well, he's got some leverage. He does have the clause and stuff, but he's got to calm down with how much leverage he thinks he has. Ruiz has more than they think. But with that said, guys, I got to go, man. Boxing Stories is supposed to be like this. Supposed to be me on camera. I couldn't do it those other times, but that's your Boxing Stories for the coming week. And this is Timothy Bradley Appreciation Week. I got to go. I'm getting texts and I'm getting calls. I got to get the hell out of here. All right. Peace out.